Everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about today is something that we haven't talked about in a really long time, and it's the truth about the Constitution and the rights that you were born with. Have you ever been told that your rights come from the government? That the Constitution gives you free speech, the right to bear arms, freedom of religion? Well, let's set the record straight. Okay, the Constitution doesn't grant you those rights. You were born with them. Okay, the Constitution just tells the government to keep its hands off of it. Right? So, hey there, how are you? My name is Autumn, and today we're diving into the truth about your God-given rights and why understanding this matters for every single American. All right, so let's get started. So, to understand the Constitution, we need to go back to the ideas that shaped it. The Founding Fathers didn't believe rights come from a king or a president or even a piece of paper. They believed in natural rights, the idea that you are born with the certain freedoms because you are a human being. John Locke, the philosopher who inspired men like Jefferson and Madison, wrote in 1689 that every person has an inherent right to life, liberty, and property. These are not gifts from the government. They are yours by virtue of simply existing. The Declaration of Independence, which was written in 1776, spells it out for you. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Unalienable means they cannot be taken away, not by a king, not by a Congress, not by anyone. The founders saw government as a potential threat to those rights, not their source. And that's why they wrote the Constitution, not to give you rights, but to limit what the government can do to you. So this resonates deeply, and the less government meddles in our lives, the freer we are to live as we choose. So let's look at the evidence. The Bill of Rights. The first 10 amendments does not say that the government grants you free speech. The First Amendment says, Congress shall make no law abridging your freedom of speech or religion. The Second Amendment doesn't give you the right to bear arms. It says that the right shall not be infringed. This language is deliberate, and it assumes that you already have these rights. And the Constitution's job is to tie the government's hands, not to hand out privileges. So what does this mean in practice? The Constitution is a shield. It's not a vending machine. So let's take the Second Amendment. Okay, so in D.C. versus Heller, which is 2008, the Supreme Court held that the right to keep and bear arms is an individual right rooted in the natural right to self-defense. Justice Scalia's opinion didn't say that the government gave that right. It said that the government can't take it away. Same with free speech. In Brandenburg versus Ohio in 1969, the court protected even controversial speech, not because the Constitution created that right, but because it's inherent to your freedom as a person. Now, this matters because it flips the script. If rights come from the government, then the government can take that away. Now, think about that. If free speech or your right to bear arms depends on a politician's goodwill, what happens when they change their mind? We've seen this elsewhere in countries like Canada or the UK. Speech and gun rights are treated as privileges, not inherent rights. Here, our founders, they knew better. They built a system where the government's power is limited, not your freedom. But there's always a catch. Some folks today act like rights do come from the government. They push for laws that chip away at free speech. Think cancel culture, big tech censorship, gun rights, claiming that it's for public safety. As but there's a lot of us, on our side that we know better, right? Our rights are not up for debate because they were not granted by a bureaucrat. They are ours from birth. The Constitution exists to remind the government of this fact. So why does this matter to you and to me? Well, because the idea that your rights are inherent protects everything that you hold dear. Your ability to speak your mind, whether it's at a town hall or on social media. Your right to worship without interference. Your right to defend your family. These are not favors from Washington, D.C. They are yours, point blank, period. But today we're seeing threats. Bureaucrats and tech giants want to control what you say online, calling it misinformation. But politicians push gun control laws that ignore the Second Amendment's clear language. Even religious freedom is under attack when governments try to dictate what churches can and cannot do. And as conservatives, we value self-reliance. We value our liberty. We don't trust big government. We don't trust them to give us anything, because what it gives, it takes away. The founders understood this. They fought a revolution to escape a king who thought he could grant or revoke rights at will. They gave us a constitution that says, no, these rights are yours, and the government's job is to stay out of the way. But that only works if we hold them accountable. So, for just a moment, look at your own life. Okay, are you a farmer? Are you a small business owner? Or are you a parent trying to just raise your children? You know that the government doesn't give you your work ethic or your values. Those come from you, your faith, your community. Your rights are the same. They're part of who you are. And when we forget that, we risk letting power-hungry elites redefine what freedom really means. So here's the truth. The Constitution doesn't grant you your rights. It protects the rights that you were born with. Rights given by your Creator, not a politician. And as Americans, we have a duty to defend that truth. Read the Constitution. It's not long, and it's yours. It belongs to you. Support organizations that you agree with. And when those organizations that you like, when they start to fight for your inherent rights, whether it's free speech, freedom of religion, freedom to bear arms, speak up. Whether it's on social media, school boards, your community, tell your kids their rights. They're not handouts. They're part of who they are. If this resonates with you, please hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to keep the conversation going. Drop a comment in the comment section which right matters most to you and why. Let's remind the world that our freedoms don't come from a government. They come from us. I'm Autumn, and I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fear less and God bless.